technology for 3 years now. I'm a Cornell alumni and have been a director of several organizations, currently in practice as a management consultant. I also suffer from EMS, electromagnetic sensitivity, a condition that millions of Americans suffer from that's covered by the American Disabilities Act. Whenever I get near a cell tower, I get a headache and I feel dizzy. And within minutes of leaving the area, I feel better. The millions of us who suffer from this are, I believe, the canaries in the coal mine regarding cell tower radiation. Thousands of peer-reviewed studies have shown that cell radiation is harmful, especially to children who are up to 10 times more vulnerable. Unfortunately, because the radiation is invisible, many don't worry about it, at least not yet. I believe this is changing, as shown by the comprehensive New Hampshire state study about this issue. After a year study, a group of scientists concluded that indeed this radiation is harmful and towers should be kept 500 meters away from people. 3 years ago, I began my first foray into political activism, helping to organize hundreds of people in Ithaca, New York, to stop new towers from going in. When we first approached our city council, we were met with skepticism by every member of the council, and even some ridicule. After doing hundreds of hours of research, though, I knew the science was on our side. I also remembered Gandhi's famous quote, which some of you probably know. First they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, and then you win. Over months of educating council members and city staff, we pushed hard to change local codes. But it wasn't easy, in part because the 1996 Telecommunications Act, which prohibits local governments from considering the environmental and health effects when deciding about cell towers. This clause was inserted by telecom industries. I've come to believe that this is one of the most immoral laws passed in our country's history. Most towns, including Ithaca and probably New York, have as their fundamental reason for their codes protecting the health and safety of the residents. Yet, here's the federal government saying that health cannot be a factor in cell towers. Unethical and ridiculous. That said, we worked with expert attorney Andrew Campanelli to create codes to go around this law. And despite having no support when we started our campaign, the science and the idea of precautionary principle won the day. Our members were persuaded by our arguments about the threats to people's health and the concern of aesthetic impacts. And in the end, all but one council member voted to pass the new codes, which contained almost everything we wanted, making the mission of the city code to minimize redundant infrastructure while maintaining local control. The new codes basically force telecom companies to prove a clear need before any towers go up. I urge you in New York to follow the lead of Ithaca and so many other towns who are stopping unnecessary cell towers. Pause on your new proposed towers, change your codes if needed, give your public due process, and allow only new towers that prove a significant gap in coverage. For the public's growing awareness of the harm of cell radiation, we need you, our local officials, to lead on this issue and do the right thing. Thank you.